This is my presentation on on Roman Republic art by Ray Quimby. My period of time was the Roman Republic. The Roman Republic was a huge and powerful state during the time. Roman art was usually used to commemorate and portray individuals. Much of the art during this period of time was centered around wealthy, high-class people who could afford to commission artwork. The Roman Republic started in 509 BCE after the overthrowing of Tarquinius Superbus, who was the last Etruscan king of Rome. A lot of Roman art was influenced by Greek and Etruscan art. The artworks I have listed are influenced by both. Outside of art, Romans were big in architecture, specifically with the use of concrete. Here are the vocab terms that will be used throughout this presentation. Starting with the Dionysic Mystery Frieze, we have a beautiful surrounding fresco. This painting was found in Pompeii, Italy, made between 60 and 50 BCE, is a 5'4" high fresco wall painting, was found and is still located in the Villa of Mysteries in room 5. The surrounding is where the surrounding part of the artwork is where the term frieze comes from. This piece was painted in true fresco, being that the pigment was added while the plaster was still wet. Later, after it dried, people had added wax and/or oil to preserve the painting, but it ended up darkening the colors. This fresco was done in a large center room in the Villa of Mysteries that had thought to be a dining room. The figures are a bit smaller than life size, and all the figures seem to be doing different actions. This piece is referred to as a mystery frieze because the actions of the people in the piece is unknown. Many believe it to be a secret Dionysian cult ritual, secret because the only religion allowed was that of the Roman state. This piece is in second style, meaning it creates the illusion of extra space or an expansion of the room. The Dionysic part of the name comes from the figure enlarged in the bottom right, who is called Dionysus. Dionysus is the god of wine and pleasure, which is adamant in the painting, as he is seen drunkenly laying across his mortal lover, Iridion. This is him, and this is his mortal lover. The god Dionysus is actually a Greek god, showing Greek influence in Roman art. Next, we have a sculpture called Togatus Barberini. It was found in Rome, Italy, was made in the last part of the 1st century BCE, is 5'5" high, made out of marble, is a sculpture of Patrician, which we'll get into later, and is now lies in the Capitolini Museum, Rome. This is a marble sculpture of a distinguished Roman citizen. We know he is a distinguished Roman by the type of shoes he wears, which lower-class Romans would not be able to afford. The man is thought to be a patrician senator, patrician meaning an aristocratic citizen of Rome, and a senator meaning a man who helped govern the Roman Republic. He is shown in a toga, which is the cloth on him, holding 2 marble heads. The actual identity of the heads are unknown, but many scholars believe the head to be the father and the grandfather of the full man. An interesting fact about the sculpture is that the head of the full man up here was not originally on the sculpture when it was made. It was added on later. We know this because the coloring of the connecting neck and the head is different from the body, along with the restoration of the nose and the ears. We can see Greek influence in this sculpture as it is a realistic depiction of a human. This sculpture is in strict naturalism, making it the style of Furism. This is a wall painting called Brawl in Pompeii Amphitheater. It was found in Pompeii, Italy, was made between 60 to 79 CE, is a 5'7" by 6'1" fresco wall painting, was found in a small house known as House 1323, and now lies in the National Archaeological Museum in Naples. The amphitheater is the open-air venue used for entertainment purposes that is shown in the middle of the painting. You can see that the painter added the details of an awning, which is shown up here. An awning, also known as a velarium, to the amphitheater, which gives shades and covers part of the theater. In the amphitheater, there's a gladiator fight going on while a riot wreaks havoc in the city. There are people depicted with weapons and throwing rocks. So rocks here. Some people are shown with weapons throughout the city. This riot was one that took place in 59 CE between the Pompeians and their neighbors from New Syria. This riot left many seriously wounded and caused the amphitheater to shut down for a decade. This is a fresco painting that was found in house 1323, and many question why it was found in a small house. Some scholars believe the house to be the house of Atticus Insidius Castrius, as much of the graffiti surrounding the house in the painting was signed by him, and the fact that he was an ex-gladiator. It is also to be noted that the number of arches painted under the staircase leading to the amphitheater is incorrect to the actual number of arches. There are 11 depicted, while there are actually 6. Finally, we have a true fresco painting called Portrait of a Husband and Wife, also known as Portrait of Terentius Neo and his Wife. It was found in Pompeii, Italy, was made between 70 to 79 CE, is a 1 foot 11 by 1 foot 8.5 inch fresco wall painting, was found in house 726 and now lies in the National Archaeological Museum in Naples. This painting was found in house 726, which is owned by a lawyer named Terentius Neo. This fresco depicts a couple. The wife is shown holding a stylus and a wax tablet, equivalent to a modern-day pencil and paper, while the husband holds a papyrus scroll, equivalent to a modern book. These features were added to show the literacy and intelligence of the two, as most Romans were illiterate. Looking at the framing of the image, you can see that the two are both represented equally, being that they take up the same amount of space, and frontally being that they are shown facing us. When analyzing the features, you can see that the couple's eyes are very exaggerated and large, while the cheeks and under eyes seem hollow and heavily shaded. The abundance of shading plays into the style of the piece, the style being fourth style. Fourth style art is identified by colorful blocks of art painted on a wall with the intention of resembling large marble slabs. This art piece is what would be equivalent to a modern wedding photograph that is used to symbolize one's relationship. Those were my 4 art pieces of the Roman Republic, and here are my sources I used to get my information. Thank you for listening.